Yo, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be talking about financial literacy and I think how important it is for especially young adults. So let's get into it. If you're in your early adulthood, investing, superannuation, taxes, it feels hella confusing. Like, should you pay off your debt first, salary sacrifice, smash your hex, or maybe even save? Nobody teaches this stuff, but it literally determines your future. Today, I'm going to break down the optimal basic order for investing your money while you're young, and the things I personally do and will continue to do. This won't be financial advice, just the stuff I wish someone told me when I was 18. You can take it with a grain of salt, but just listen to a little bit of the stuff I say and hopefully pick up something. Step 1. Please build an emergency fund. A study shows that most Australians can't cover a surprise $1,000 expense. And honestly, that's scary, because emergencies happen no matter how careful you are. Your emergency fund is basically your safety net. Something to fall back on, If your car dies, you lose your job, or you get injured, whatever it is, you're basically covered. And how much should this be? I think a good estimate would be add up your monthly expenses. This includes like rent, food, bills, your Minecraft Realm subscription, daily Robux, stuff like that, Then multiply that by 5. So if your monthly expenses are about 2K, aim for 10K. And that should be a decent emergency fund. Obviously, you can keep adding to it with each paycheck. Maybe a small amount, but if you build that 10K, you can add maybe 1 or 2 hours worth of work a week into that fund, and you should have a nice safety net to pull back on. But where do you want to store this? Do not store this in a basic bank account. I'm talking about using a high interest savings account because it literally pays you more for existing. Like if you're not going to touch this 10K for the next 4 months, you might as well get a higher interest rate on it. The difference between could be, a decent couple $100 difference. Example, the big banks will offer 3.5% interest rate. Well, if you go to a high interest rate account, it could be 5 to 6% interest. Pretty decent, There's a big difference between getting 350 to 550 on a 10K balance, but doing absolutely nothing. That's honestly free money. Step 2 would be to pay off your high interest debt. This is a guaranteed return. Now, eliminate anything over the 6% interest rate mark. This could be credit cards, personal loans, or car loans. I know car loans would be pretty expensive, but the more faster you can pay it off, the more you can invest in the future. Credit cards are low-key kind of bad, honestly. Unless you use them in the right way, but the interest rates can eat up. Here's why paying off these debts is guaranteed profit. If your debt charges about 20% interest, paying it off is the same as getting a guaranteed 20% return on your money. And you can't beat that in the stock market or anything. And the way I would pay that off would be using the avalanche method. So list all your debts from highest to smallest interest rates, make all the minimum payments, but then tackle extra payments into the highest debt. And honestly, that's a guaranteed return and a guaranteed win. You want to win, right? Step 2.5, it's going to be like an in-between. Take advantage of the government co-contribution. It's an instant 50% return rate. If you're earning low to middle income, so like I would say about 30 to 50K, especially if you're a student, the government will literally give you free money. I know this is not a scam, trust me. If you contribute $1,000 into your super, the government will give up to $500. That's a free 50% instant return. Nothing else comes close to that. So if you earn under 45K, I think, you qualify for the full amount. This is the most slept on profit hack in Australia. And the way you do this is by choosing to put $1,000 into the money that you get after paid. So anything that enters your bank account. And you're putting a direct deposit into your super. And then by the end of the financial year, they'll add the $500. So your $1,000 turns into $1,500. And if you're doing this through uni or through like TAFE or study, those 4 years, 3 years adds up. That's a free $2,000 if you're doing 4 years of study. Just for putting $1,000 in every year before your financial year. It's pretty good. Step 3 is salary sacrificing. The idea to keep more of your money. This is where it gets fun. This is one of my favorite investment methods. Most people think salary sacrificing means losing money. In theory, you lose money in the moment, but you actually keep more. because instead of being taxed on the normal income rate, that money gets taxed at 15%. This is huge. Let's use like a real example. For example, a student earning $32 an hour, and they decide to salary sacrifice 2 hours of their work, which is $60 a week. Option 1 would be not salary sacrificing. So your $60 gets taxed at a marginal rate of 19%. So you actually keep around $48.60. The ATO takes the rest. The government takes the rest of that money. Option 2 would be salary sacrificing that $60 a week. Those $60 only gets taxed at 15% instead. So instead of keeping $48.60, that $60 is taxed at 15%, which is $51, and it goes directly into your super. So you basically keep more, even though you're giving it up. Plus, your retirement savings will get to grow faster because of the compounding. So let's do like a yearly breakdown. Not sacrificing, you take home $2,527 after normal tax. You salary sacrificed, you get to keep $2,652 after the 15% tax. But this goes straight into your super. You can't touch until you're 60. You end up with difference is you end up with $125 more for doing absolutely nothing. And that money gets to compound for decades. And that's the best part. Plus, you probably will barely feel $60 a week missing. Another thing is, this gets to take advantage of the bonus, which is the first home super savers scheme. If you ever want to buy a house in the future, the super lets you withdraw up to $50,000 of your voluntary contributions. So doing the pre-tax contributions, you get to take advantage of this. And the tax rate on the withdrawal is at your marginal tax rate minus 30%. So example, your marginal tax rate could be 32.5%, and then withdrawals at 2.5% tax. That's insanely efficient compared to saving for after tax. So you get to build your deposit while also keeping more of your money. Something to think about. Step 4. After you've done all this, you can start investing the normal way into a brokerage account. Once you've built an emergency fund, killed your high interest debt, used the co-contribution and salary sacrifice, now you can start investing normally. This can be in stocks, ETFs, index funds, whatever fits your plan. I personally follow the passive investing strategy, which is long-term, set and forget, and it just does it automatically out of my account. You pick a simple, diversified ETF and just let it automate. You can use brokerages like Stake, Moomoo, Vanguard. There's many different options. Just look into starting to invest in an ETF or a stock account. The reason you choose ETFs or you choose index funds is because it's just simply safer. It's the idea of buying multiple companies instead of buying one company and gambling on the fact that they're going to make money. Because if one dies, you still have like 99 other companies to gamble on. You still have 99 other companies to fall back on. Just the safe method. This is a lot of people tell you about. The S&P 500 has about an 8% return, which is really, really good. And by doing this, you get to beat inflation as well. Step 5, low interest debt. Anything under 6% goes here. Your priorities is high priority, low interest, 4 to 6%. It's good to pay it off before investing heavily because the return is close to the market average. Low priority or low interest, 0 to 3%. Just make minimum payments and invest the rest. HEX would fall into this category. It's just inflation indexed. It grows slower than the stock market historically. So investing beats paying HEX early in most cases. But yeah, final messages. At some point in your future, you won't be able to work. Your body, your mind, your life. Something will slow you down. The money you invest now at a younger age is hedged against the future. It protects you, it builds stability, and it stops you from living paycheck to paycheck in the future. And if you start young, even with tiny amounts, compounding does heavy lifting. So your future self will thank you for every dollar you invested instead of wasted. If you have any other questions, please comment down below. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just a video to hopefully give you an idea, and please do your own research and then look out. Like, I want people to actually take advantage of this. I think it's important. Like, financial literacy at a young age is so important. A lot of us are probably wasting money when we could be having more money. And I think that's so important to us. So if you enjoyed this video or you have any comments to ask me questions, or if you want to tell people other things that you think that I didn't talk about, please comment down below. Like the video and share. Peace.